Authorities have released the names of the 2 teachers and 8 students who were killed in the mass shooting at a Texas high school. Dimitrios Bajortzis, 17, allegedly opened fire at the school 48 kilometers southeast of Houston on Friday, injuring at least 13 others. He faces murder charges. The Galveston County Medical Examiner's Office and Sheriff's Office issued a statement Saturday listing those killed as Glenda Perkins, Cynthia Tisdale, Kimberly Vaughn, Shayna Fisher, Angelique Ramirez, Christian Riley Garcia, Jared Black, Sabika Sheikh, Christopher Jake Stone, Aaron Kyle McLeod. Cynthia Tisdale was a substitute teacher at Santa Fe High School. A family member confirmed in a Facebook post Friday night that she was one of those killed during the mass shooting at the school. Facebook, Perkins and Tisdale were teachers. The others were students at Santa Fe High School. Family members say Tisdale loved to help people, and her home was the center for family gatherings. The Kennedy Lugar Youth Exchange. Fisher's mother, Sadie Rodriguez, said she thinks her 16-year-old daughter was intentionally targeted by Bajortzi. He had repeatedly made advances toward Fisher in the 4 months leading up to the shooting, Rodriguez said, and she repeatedly told him no. The week before the shooting, Rodriguez says that her daughter stood up to him by embarrassing him in class. Bajortzis is currently being held without bond on capital murder charges. He is accused of entering an art class at his school around 8 a.m. and opening fire. Shocked and confused, Bajortzi's family released a statement on Saturday saying, "We are as shocked and confused as anyone else by these events that occurred," while offering prayers and condolences to the victims. The family remained mostly in the dark about the specifics of yesterday's tragedy, but what we have learned from media reports seems incompatible with the boy we love. The statement said, "We share the public's hunger for answers as to why this happened, and will await the outcome of the investigation before speaking about these events." Texas Gov. Greg Abbott on Friday said the suspected shooter was armed with a shotgun and a .38 revolver, both of which appeared to belong to the suspect's father. Abbott said the suspect also brought with him homemade explosive devices that were found in the school and nearby. Abdulaziz Sheikh shows a picture of his daughter Sabika in Karachi, Pakistan, on Saturday. The Pakistani foreign exchange student was among those killed in Friday's school shooting. Fareed Khan, Associated Press. The suspect exchanged a lot of firepower with authorities before he surrendered, said Mark Henry, the Galveston County judge who is the county's chief administrator. The explosive devices were not capable of detonating, Henry said. Investigators found a group of carbon dioxide canisters taped together, and a pressure cooker with an alarm clock and nails inside. But the canisters had no detonation device, and the pressure cooker had no explosive material, Henry said. Investigators offered no motive. In a probable cause affidavit, however, authorities said the suspect admitted to the shooting. Suspect surrendereth. Gunman also told investigators that when he opened fire Friday morning, he did not shoot students. He did like so he could have his story told, according to the affidavit. The governor said the assailant intended to kill himself but gave up and told police that he did not have the courage to take his own life. Only weeks ago, a dozen students from Santa Fe High School offered support for survivors of the Parkland, Florida, school shooting by participating in a nationwide walkout seeking stricter gun control. "This morning, I called the family of Sabika Sheikh and offered my deepest condolences. All of us at the U.S. mission in Pakistan are devastated by and mourn her loss. We will honor her memory. @ahref equals https://twitter.com/#ambale?src equals #. Since the Florida massacre that killed 17 and energized the teen-led gun control movement. Sophomore Kyle Harris, who took part in the walkout last month, was in first period when a fire alarm went off. Then, he heard teachers urging him to flee. "The scariest thing is hearing a teacher who knows your name personally call you by your name and tell you to run," Harris tweeted. The deaths were all but certain to reignite the debate over U.S. gun regulations, coming just 3 months after the Florida attack. "It's been happening everywhere. I've always kind of felt like that eventually it was going to happen here too," Santa Fe High School student Paige Curry told Houston television station KTRK. "I don't know. I wasn't surprised. I was just scared." Officer shot in the arm. Wounded in Santa Fe included a school police officer who was the first to confront the suspect and was shot in the arm. Zachary Mui, a sophomore at the school of roughly 1,400 students, was in his art class when he heard 3 loud booms. Mui told the New York Times that a student he knew from football was armed with a shotgun and was wearing a shirt emblazoned with the slogan, "Born to Kill." "It was crazy watching him shoot and then pump. I I remember seeing the shrapnel from the tables, whatever he hit. I remember seeing the shrapnel go past my face, he told The Times. Michael Farina, 17, heard the fire alarm and thought it was a drill. He was holding a door open for special education students in wheelchairs when a principal came bounding down the hall, telling everyone to run. Another teacher yelled out, "It is real." Students were led to take cover behind a car shop across the street from the school. Some still did not feel safe and began jumping the fence behind the shop to run even farther away, Farina said. Shooter yelled, "Surprise!" The gunman yelled, "Surprise!" before he started shooting, according to Texas Rep. Michael McCall, the chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee. Pajortzes appeared to have no prior arrests or confrontations with law enforcement. A woman who answered the phone at a number associated with the Pajortzes family declined to speak with the AP. Pajortzes made his initial court appearance Friday evening by video link from the Galveston County Jail. A judge denied bond and took his application for a court-appointed attorney. McCall, a former federal prosecutor, said he expects the Justice Department to pursue additional charges, possibly involving weapons of mass destruction. People gather with candles during Friday's vigil for shooting victims in Santa Fe. Trish Badger, Reuters. Pajortzes played on the junior varsity football team and was a member of a dance squad with a local Greek Orthodox church. Acquaintances described him as quiet and unassuming, an avid video game player who routinely wore a black trench coat and black boots to class. While cable news channels carried hours of live coverage, survivors of the Feb. 14 Florida attack took to social media to express grief and outrage. "My heart is so heavy for the students of Santa Fe High School. It's an all too familiar feeling no one should have to experience. I am so sorry this epidemic touched your town. Parkland will stand with you now and forever," Marjorie Stoneman Douglas student Jacqueline Caron said in a tweet. "Oh my God, this is not fake. This is actually happening." Student senior Logan Roberts. She also directed her frustration at President Donald Trump, writing, "Our children are being murdered and you're treating this like a game. This is the 22nd school shooting just this year. Do something." In Texas, senior Logan Roberts said he was near the school's art room when he heard the fire alarm and left the building with other students. Once outside, Roberts said, he heard 2 loud bangs. He initially thought somebody was loudly hitting a trash can. Then came 3 more bangs. "That's when the teachers told us to run," he said. At that point, Roberts said, he told himself, "Oh my God, this is not fake. This is actually happening." Survivor rejects idea of more gun control. Roberts said he doesn't think additional gun control measures are needed, citing the need for defense against intruders. "What are you going to do if some guy comes in your house and points a gun at you? You can't do nothing with a knife," he said. Friday's assault was the deadliest in Texas since a man with a semi-automatic rifle attacked a rural church late last year, killing more than 24 people. Teen wrote in journals there were a few prior clues about Pajortzes' behavior, unlike the shootings in Parkland and the church in Sutherland Springs, Abbott said, but the teen wrote in journals of wanting to carry out such an attack and then to end his own life. This young man planned on doing this for some time. He advertised his intentions, but somehow slipped through the cracks, Texas Senator John Cornyn said. In the aftermath of the Florida assault, survivors pulled all-nighters, petitioned city councils and state lawmakers, and organized protests in a grassroots movement. Within weeks, state lawmakers adopted changes, including new weapons restrictions. In late March, the teens spearheaded one of the largest student protest marches since Vietnam in Washington and inspired hundreds of other marches from California to Japan.